Hello and welcome to Paul Goes Keto, at Paul Goes Keto on Instagram. If you haven't seen my first video where I describe my journey with my first year of keto, as well as basically how keto saved my life, I highly recommend you check out that video as well. About today's video, how I lost 30 pounds in 30 days with no exercise, my plan and guide. Why did I put this together? Basically, there's a lot of keto information out there, a lot of misinformation, if you will. A lot of information just scattered all about. You got some great sources, and then you have some complicated things. You got meal plans, this, that, and the other. I wanted to take basically my first 30-day routine, what I learned over the following year from that first 30 days, kind of mix it together, tune it, and basically really hone in on the important stuff. And my goal then is to share that with you and hopefully help you on your journey into keto. Basically following this like simple plan and guide should be enough to get you going in the right direction. Good basic overview, everything kind of in one source, just to help you be the healthiest version of yourself. Like I said, this is what I used, and it really helped me. Why the no exercise? We all know exercise is good for you. It's beneficial for your health. It's good just to be active overall. So that's the no given. If you exercise and eat right, you're going to get in great shape. Well, I wanted to show, well, what happens if you don't exercise and you just add in the healthy diet, the fasting, and the cutting out the carbs and sugar, basically. What can that result in? And now, a year later, down 70 pounds from basically following this guide. First 30 days, though, no exercise, just cutting out the carbs, sugar, doing intermittent fasting, and the keto diet, and boom, down 30 pounds with no exercise. So granted, you add exercise in, you could have exponentially increased the results most likely, but I wanted to show just how crucial your diet and health is, and how detrimental carbs and sugar are to that health, the weight gain, inflammation, all the bad things. So that was really the science behind the no exercise part, as well as a lot of people out there are overweight or obese, and mobility might be an issue, or getting to the gym or actually doing exercise. So if they can see that just by doing the intermittent fasting, the keto diet, cutting out carbs and sugar, they could drop a tremendous amount of weight, and that might get them to the next stage to where they would be able to go to the gym or would be able to safely work out better. So there's just a whole load of information, trying to concise it down just to better help you on your journey. As a disclaimer, though, I am not a doctor, no medical experience, just average guy. Became, the lowest of my low. My life revolved around eating. Food was everything. The highlight, the low point of my day, just everything revolved around that. And basically, I turned my life around. I followed these guides and plan. The results obviously speak for themselves. So now I just want to share that with you. My friends, they had plans similar to this I made for them. Basically, starting out, you had the basic end, people that just kind of basically did the keto, no fasting, and they lost about 13 pounds the first month, up to the people that followed it pretty strictly, and they were losing 20 to 30 pounds. Another friend, almost 60 pounds in 2 months, just by following these similar guidelines. So it does work, people. I'm living proof. If I can turn my life around and incorporate just these basic principles and cutting out carbs and sugar, anybody can. But before we get into the video, I want to give a special thanks to Dr. Eric Berg. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your videos really made an impact and a lasting impression, and that's what I based my first 30 days on. It really got me through and changed my life for the better. And so now I'm kind of taking everything I learned, sizing it more together and making it hopefully like an easy plan and sharing it, and hopefully my results will help inspire others. So thank you, Dr. Berg. Check out Dr. Berg's videos on YouTube. Very informative. Like I said, they helped me get to where I am today. So again, thank you, Dr. Berg. Another special thanks to Headbanger's Kitchen. This guy makes great meals. His chicken cabbage pot stickers or dumplings was a real lifesaver in my first week. Also, Dr. Berg's cauliflower pizza, amazing. If you were craving pizza in your first week, highly recommend doing the cauliflower pizza. I also went ahead and switched it up a little. I did a broccoli and an asparagus pizza, and that's really good too. You could do broccoli and kale, asparagus and broccoli, broccoli and cauliflower, if you will. So it's real easy, and it's amazing, filled with cruciferous veggies, so it's good for you, and highly recommend that over any of the pizza chains or your frozen pizzas. And so those are two food items that really got me through the first 2 weeks. Other great sources I want to mention, Thomas DeLauer on YouTube has great information. He really gets into the science behind all the fasting and the keto diet. So that's a really good source. And also Joe Rogan, or Powerful JRE on YouTube. Great podcast. He has great guests on. The discussions are out of this world. Highly recommended. So with that said, let's move on. Before getting started, if you have a primary care physician, obviously maybe kind of give them an idea of what you want to do, and at the basic you just want to cut out carbs and sugar and implement an intermittent fasting if you can. What I did is I got blood work done so I could establish a baseline. I did a 16-hour fast before my blood work, and I just kind of wanted to see where my cholesterol, my triglycerides were at. From the start, they were always high, over 400. I mean, when you have a diet consisting of Chinese, pizza, fast food, burgers, Twinkies, all that, obviously you're going to have high triglycerides. So I have another video coming out. Basically, I dropped my triglycerides 300 points in the first 30 days just by following this plan. So it does work, and I'll show you the science and the blood work after that in another video. But yes, if you can get some blood work done, do the fast, get the blood work, your cholesterol, your labs, liver, kidney function tests, just to kind of see where you're at, and then go back in 30, 60, 90 days, so on and so forth, and that'll be the start. All right, so starting out, basically, you just want to try to eliminate sugar and carbs, or limit to about 25 grams per day. And an example of that would be like a medium onion has 7 grams of sugar, a strawberry is 1 gram of sugar. So if you're trying to stay under 25, and say at one meal you have chicken breast with a medium onion, add in that 7 grams. For at the end of your last meal, if you have a couple strawberries with nuts, I mean, that's 2, 3, 4 grams of sugar. So that natural sugar, as long as you're under your macros, the 25 for the day, you're okay. What you want to avoid is your processed foods, your fast foods. Those are the ones that are really bad for you. And yeah, just eat clean and avoid those carbs and sugars. Stay in your macros. That's our first takeaway. Next thing I want to talk about is daily intermittent fasting, or basically what your eating window is. You could do an 8-16 or a 4-20. Basically, you eat your meals in an 8-hour window, then fast for 16, or you eat your meals in a 4-hour window, fast for 20. I found starting with the 8 was easiest for me. Why daily? Well, it maximizes your fat burning ability, as well as you build a routine. So if you get this going for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, your body will adapt, get used to it, and then it becomes easier. And then if you're doing it every day, as well, like I said, you're burning fat, so your body will become fat adapted, and then you'll be satiated longer, you'll be more filled, if you will, and just you'll be better suited for the keto way of life if you do it every day versus just a couple times a week. And so by really doing it every day, you're really honing in and developing those ketones. I started 3 meals in an 8-hour window. Find what 8 hours works for you. For me, it was between 12 and 8 p.m. I would do a meal between 12 and 1. I'd eat again between 3 and 4, and then 7 to 8. And then nothing from 8 p.m. till 12 the next day. After about 12 days, I went to 2 meals in an 8-hour window, just because I found I wasn't as hungry, as well as just for time. It was a lot easier just eating twice a day compared to 3. I know that sounds crazy because we're programmed to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but really the 2 meals a day I found and have been doing for the last year, like I said, and I love it. So anyway, 2 meals in that 8 hours for me was between 12 and 1, and then 7 to 8. Now you can have black coffee or green tea. It doesn't break a fast, and you can, for the first week or two to get you over that hump from say 8 at night till noon the next day. If you need some straight black coffee, you can do that, or green tea as well. And yep, that's your intermittent fasting basic guide right there. Now let's talk about what to eat. I did about 65% fat, 25% protein, and 10% carbs, mostly from veggies. And remember, veggies are key. You want about 5 to 7 cups a day. Basically, you want a veggie with each of your meals. And according to Dr. Berg, you don't count the carbs in veggies because they are crucial. They help process and move the fat that we consume through us. If you were to just eat all fat and burgers, bacon, eggs, avocados, all this, and you weren't having green veggies to help process that fat, you would probably end up with a non-alcoholic fatty liver, high triglycerides, kind of worse shape than you were. And that's one of the misnomers out there, is that you can just eat meats and bacon and eggs and no veggies, and then that's why people's cholesterol, triglycerides shoot up. Doctors aren't happy, and they get this bad stigma around keto, or you mention keto and people roll their eyes. So really, veggies are key. Veggies are crucial. I can't hit that home enough. Going on to the protein, you want to stay around 25 grams of protein per meal. So basically around the size of your fist, be it a chicken breast, a piece of salmon. Too much protein is bad. It can turn into sugar, and obviously you don't want that because it could kick you out of ketosis. What I did, I found helped me, was I kept a notebook of my daily macros. Basically whatever I ate, I looked at the portion size and the macronutrients, added it up, kept a log, kind of kept track, make sure I stayed around my 25 grams of protein, about my, the 20 to 25 grams of sugar. I never counted calories. I just basically ate a good balanced portion of my meals, of my fat, my protein, and then my veggies. And if you were a little more hungry, have a couple more things of broccoli or a little more spinach. And really the need to count calories I did not find. Meal plans. It varies. I mean, one day you may feel like eggs and asparagus. The next day you want some tuna with avocado mayo on a bed of spinach with some nuts and cheese. So really, to say like, here's your lunch and dinner meal, here's your, for Monday, then Tuesday, it could get a little repetitive. So really, I want to give you an idea of what to eat, and then you just kind of pick and choose and make your own meal, because, you might not feel like salmon 3 days out of the week. So it varies. Just remember, darker the green, the better. No snacks. Snacks you want to avoid. You just want to stick to your 2 or 3 meals in that 8-hour window and try and eat everything in one sitting. No chewing gum. If you believe it or not, chewing actually spikes insulin, which is a precursor to storing fat. So there you have it, 2 or 3 meals in an 8-hour window. And now let's talk about what those meals will consist of. So here's kind of just a simple keto guide. You want to pick something from your protein: chicken, steak, fish, pork, ground beef, turkey, lamb, venison, seafood, or eggs. Then you want to head over to your veggie column: cauliflower, broccoli, squash, zucchini, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, salad, green beans, onion, spinach. Choose 2 if you want. Just make sure you get a good amount of veggies with each meal. And then something from your fat column: butter, olive oil, avocado oil, ghee, cheese, bacon, nuts, eggs, avocados, even pork rinds. Oils to avoid would be soybean oil and canola oil. And also, when we come to the cheese, don't get the pre-shredded cheese. I know it's harder to shred your own, but the pre-shredded bags have fillers and anti-caking agents, and that's just a lot more for your body to process, and you definitely want to avoid that. Some meal ideas, like I said, would be spaghetti squash with some, 80-20 ground beef meatballs. You could do cauliflower broccoli pizza or bread if you like. Salmon with a some broccoli, and then some cheese on the side. That's another really good meal. Maybe some asparagus, cheese manicotti. This I really like. Just get you some Gouda cheese slices or mozzarella cheese slices. Put some ricotta cheese in the middle. Bake it for about 5 minutes, fold it over, and then top it with like some sugar-free tomato sauce or marinara, and that's really good. And as long as you're under your macros for the day, you're good there. So there's kind of a general idea and basic. Just pick and choose something you like. There's plenty of these keto charts out there on Reddit, Google, things like that to help you. I'll post some video of food at the end just to kind of give you some meal ideas or how these turn out. All right, and now electrolytes. Electrolytes are key. They keep you hydrated. They help counteract the keto flu in that first week or two when you're withdrawing from carbs and sugar. You definitely want to stay on top of your electrolytes because that'll kind of counter the issue of that keto flu. Now, the powders are the best if you can get them sweetened with stevia because that doesn't break it fast. That is really good. A lot of the misconception with hydration is, I got to drink a gallon or 2 of water a day to stay hydrated. Not right on keto because that can actually flush out your system. All those good nutrients and electrolytes get flushed out. Water doesn't replace them. You go into possible kidney failure. It could be all bad. So you really want to put back in what you're losing, and that is where the electrolyte powder comes in hand. You find them on Amazon. I like Pride Naturals. I have another video I'll put out about my supplements I take daily with a little more information. Alternatives, though, in the meantime, so you can order some electrolyte mix, is pickles. Pickles are great in electrolytes. You can drink the pickle juice. Do just check on the back of the ingredients. Make sure that there's no sugar in them because some, obviously, sweet pickles have sugar. Propel in emergency, just to kind of last you until you get your mix. I would recommend Propel. It is sweetened with sucralose, so that does break it fast, and but that is a good temporary solution until you can get some good electrolyte mix in. They make packets as well as the bottles, so you have those 2 options. And then I would take 1 scoop a day. That would help just kind of keep away the keto flu. And now if you're outside and obviously if you're sweating a lot and you need probably at least 2 scoops a day just to replenish what your body loses. So that's the topic of electrolytes. Moving on, just briefly touching on supplements again. Apple cider vinegar. If you can stomach it with Mother's and drink it, that's an option. Or what I found to work best for me is in pill form. And this aids digestion as well as there's other health benefits. So I'll take my apple cider vinegar about 15 minutes before a meal just to aid. Another great product I highly recommend is the Dr. Berg Organic Cruciferous Veggie Pills. Let me see if I have one. Okay, in closing, to recap, no sugar. Only carbs from veggies are okay. You want to do daily intermittent fasting. 2 or 3 meals in an 8-hour window, but try for 2. Stay in your macros. Take your electrolytes. I usually like to try taking them after my first meal, before my second meal of the day, or you could always take it before your second meal. No chewing gum, and if you find you're getting that bad keto taste in your mouth, just rinse with mouthwash. I like to carry like a little travel size one with me or in the car, so if that need arises. I used to be really bad. I always used to have gum or candy or something with me to chew or have, but now with keto, that's a no. No snacks, remember that. Snacking is bad. Maintain just your 2 or 3 meals and eat everything in that 1 or 2 sittings a day. Also, no alcohol. Alcohol is bad. Avoid that. And basically just try this for 30 days to see how you feel. I guarantee you're going to feel better. You're going to lose some weight. And then go for 60 days, then 90 days, and then just ask yourself, wow, I feel 100 times better. Why didn't I start sooner? Do I really want to go back to those momentary, fleeting pleasures of those sweet treats or that alcoholic beverage? Why don't I just become the healthiest version of myself? And there you have it. And lastly, I want to ask you a question. Will you join me on my journey and start one of your own? I've clearly showed these few simple steps work. You just have to be dedicated. You have to stick with it. You have to never give up and just keep pushing through. and I promise you the end results will be so worth it. I myself ask why I didn't start this years ago. Kicking myself. I can't imagine ever going back to a standard American diet. So hopefully through this plan you can become the healthiest version of yourself, and together we can embark on this journey. Again, thank you for your time. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a video. Please like and share, because the more people we can get into this way of eating healthy and maximizing their health benefits through just their diet, the better off we'll be. So it's all about knowledge and sharing that knowledge and making people aware that basically at the end of the day we are what we eat, and the healthier we eat, the healthier we are. As simple as that. So again, thank you for your time. I'll leave you here with some videos of some of the dishes that I make. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Paul Goes Keto. I'll post meal ideas, or you can scroll back and see previous meals. So stay tuned and keto on.